Hello and welcome back to IRS and welcome back to Tier 2 race day. We are live for round 6 here in Imola. Ready for this 18-minute qualifying session. A few cars out on the track, ready to get going. Burbs changed his name to LWB_41. So that's going to take some... Oh, I'm still in part game chat, just clock that. Fuck you all drivers, if you can hear me. Fuck you lot. No, I'm joking. There you go, in party chat. Alright, there we go. Into the party chat so I don't distract the drivers. Who was first out, ready to start that? I think it was Tino. Yeah, it is. In the Alpine. Coming through sector 3. While Diego has left the session. Let's get the invite quickly before we start Tino's lap. There we go, all done. And Tino is going to come out the final corner and head down the long straight into the quick turn 1, 2 and 3. So start us off here for round 6. Let's see if we can get the braking right. Takes a bit of the curb there, a bit of grass with him as well. Curb is essential here in the first couple of corners, just to carry enough momentum and enough speed without too much throttle. Lighten up those rears on the curbs. Tino looking pretty decent so far with a 23.9. Going into sector 1. Up the hill before we swing it left. Straight back down the hill again. One's a bit wide. Luckily doesn't invalidate. Just about on the limits there for Tino. Into the hard part of the track, the slowest part as well. Really got to slow the car up and get it turned in. Into the chicane we go. And then down the hill again before we come into the last 2 corners. Can really make or break your lap. Don't want to run too wide out of these corners, touch a bit of gravel. You really want to get a good exit. Tino looks like he'll have a decent enough exit there. It's going to be a 14.4 for the open lap. Epi's going to cross the line just under a second behind. And then we're going to have Magmatic Rave at 17.8. Kentrum starting his flying lap. Sick Pig. Looks to be going quicker at the moment. Not quite. 14.5. Could have a bit of sector 2 time there, I think. Than Tino. Lost some time. Ferrari of Matty. Mercedes of Matty. I was thinking of IRS LB44 though. 15.6. Just Picky. A 16.2. One of the Williams boys up next. That's going to be Burb, aka LWB now, with a preparation lap by the looks of it. That Haas was just Picky. He really, I don't know what he was doing there, but I think he put off LWB a little bit there. Getting into the first couple of corners, that's an validation. How's his teammate getting on? Star Defender. Said he's been enjoying racing back here on IRS in the last 2 races. Let's see what sort of paces he's got around this track. Just have a look at the driver standards. Sick Pig, just Picky. Tino got a bit of work to do here to try and catch the championship leader. A few people with some good results here today. Received himself in a very good position in this driver standards. No one can catch Williams or Alpine in the constructors. Only 1 point separates them. 174 for the Alpines. Williams just behind with 173. So a very good constructors battle going on there. 3rd position, pretty close as well between Aston Martin, Haas and Mercedes. First point up for grabs here in this qualifying session. 1 point for pole position. Star Defender looks like he's had a pretty messy lap here, but still gets himself P4, so a lot of time to be made for him. IRS LB44 currently up 4 attempts going into sector 1. Absolutely drain that battery through sector 1. Draining it through here as well. Hasn't saved none for the downhill part here and the run to the line. 14.3 the LWB, better known as Burb. We're going to be doing that the whole race just so you guys get used to it, even though most of you watching are racing and know who it is. But for anyone who's not in the server watching or is not up to date with the server, I'll keep saying that as IRS LB44 does a 17.5 just ahead of Magnetic Rave. DMS Racing out on track on his outlap. Another race from there, got Jaeger who's back into the session. Currently P13, no time set, 4 drivers yet to set a time. Jaeger taking a bit of curb there, a bit too much curb I'd say. Runs up to the line, jumping into the 15s. 16s, 16.2, only 5 thousandths per second separated by the 2 Hasboys then. It's pretty close. We've got Outlaw as well coming up to the line, I think. He's made a mess somewhere. He's going to be going again. With a bad exit out the final corners there. A few people either having preparation laps or just struggling on their opening lap and aborting their time and going for another one straight after. DMS Racing heading up the hill. Runs a bit too wide there, misses the apex. There's some time to be made through that section. So, all over the place at the moment, going through a couple of corners, just missing a couple of apexes. Just outbraking himself a little bit too much. But still a decent enough lap here. Decent couple of corners there to finish off the lap. It's going to be a 16.4 just behind the Hasses, but there's room for improvement there for DMS Racing. Outlaw up to P10 only, a 16.5. 3-second gap between first to 12th at the moment. Quite a big field spread as Sick Pig jumps above his teammate by 1/1000th of a second. Effie's jumped up to a 14.8 in the Red Bull. Matty Burr in the Mercedes, just over a 10th up into sector 1. DMS Racing. Is he out of the race? Is he out of qualifying? Why is his car stopped? Why did I go off Matty there? Oh, DMS Racing just getting out of the way there. But it looks like he has some sort of spin. Got the Red Bull behind him just as gets out of the way of that one as well, so good awareness there from DMS Racing. On board with Matty then, can he get himself into the top 5? Looking like a good end for the lap here. A strong lap. P5 indeed, just behind Effie. Anyone else lighting up the screens? Kendrum on a lap has invalidated. He's going to be going again. Just building up the speed on the left hand side before he cuts over to the right. He heads down the main straight towards this tricky turn 1 and 2. Braking just before the 50-meter board there. Bit of a slide coming out of the corner before we come up to the sector 1 checkpoint. Big lift there. 24.2. It's not too bad. Takes a bit too much curb, compromises his exit, gets in the validation. Just picky into the pits. Who's on the lap? Tino is not on the lap. LWB in the Williams, currently on the flyer. Has got a McLaren of Plenchum just ahead of him. I'm just going to give him some dirty air into this chicane. Plenchum needs to get out of the way here. As LWB crosses the line with just under a 10th improvement, up to a 14.2. Tino's into the pits, 9 improvements for him. Jaeger, 2.5 temps up into sector 1. Seventh, 8th for the Hasses. Need some big improvements here on the lap times, and Jaeger's doing it at the moment. That's 5 temps. Going up to sector 2 as he drains the IRS. Trying to find a way into that top 6. Runs a bit wide there, has to have a bit of a lift. Comes up to the line. It's a 15.5. Goes ahead of Star Defender, who starts a lap just behind him. And Jaeger's actually giving him a bit of slipstream now, which is not what you want to do to the driver who's a position behind you. DLS Racing, 16.4, comes out to track. Magmatic Rave, how's he getting on? Should be a medium ERS. You'll be able to drive a lot quicker through corners with the medium ERS. That's a tip for some beginner drivers. Use your overtake down the straights, keep it through medium in the corners, and you'll be able to drive a lot quicker as Magmatic Rave goes up to P11. So yeah, if you got it on a hot lap through the corners, the rear tyres really want to light up, and you've got to be careful on that throttle. If you have it on medium, you've got that a little bit less energy through the corners, which gives you the throttle and the traction that you need to carry more speed, and then you can switch it to overtake on the exit. I've seen most of the drivers doing that, most of the top drivers anyway. Even esports drivers do the same thing. As you have a look at Tino down the bottom, it says harvesting, but underneath that says medium, and he'll be applying this ERS button down the straight all the way up to when he needs it to, and switch it off into medium through the corners. There he goes, back onto the overtake button, which is going to give him a lot more time compared to being on a hot lap. As he flies through sector 1, 2 temps up, which is currently enough to take pole position. So LWB is going to have to get out on track, set another lap, as Tino's flying at the moment. He took that corner absolutely lovely there. Cut so much of the track, still 2 temps up. This is looking like a really strong lap here. Into the penultimate corner we come. Cantino finishes this lap off strong and take pole position for round 6. Up to the line we go. And it's going to be a 1:14.221. Snatches pole away from LWB at the moment, who comes out of the track. Outlaw moves up to P8 with a 15.7. Sick Pig coming up to sector 2. He's a 10.5 down. Should have turned off his battery and went again. I'm not going to have enough time to do another lap after this. There's a few of the drivers starting their final laps. Sick Pig is going to be crossing the line. Has he found any time in that final sector? He has, only a 14.3 though. That's going to be P3 at best. Magmatic Rave into the pits. That's his qualifying over and done with. Kentrum, what's he doing? Hasn't set a time yet. It's 23.8. No real representation of his actual speed. Star Defender has retired from the session. He's into the pits. 2 Hasses just starting laps now. Matty Burr as well, starting a lap. How's LWB getting on? Oh, he's on an out lap, sorry. IRS LB44, also on an out lap. DMS Racing in the pits, he's not going to be improving. Just Picky invalidates, that's his qualifying over done with. Outlaw heading towards turn 1 with LWB, who's just crashed out the session. There he is on the right hand side. He will not be taking pole position from Tino. We're looking at Epi as well. Just Picky's off the track. Just intentionally crashed himself out, which is not really what you want to do. 14.6 for Epi. Sick Pigs into the pits. Matty Burr's up on his lap, but he invalidates. Kentrum's going to be crossing the line with a 16.6, puts himself P11. And then we're going to be waiting for IRS LB44, who's actually backed off his lap. And there's going to be no improvements for him. So that is not the end of qualifying, because we have Outlaw Capameste, who's invalidated as well. So that is the end of qualifying. So there we have it. Tino Tiberian on pole position, with LWB splitting the 2 Alpines in second with Sick Pig third. And we're going to wait for Outlaw and IRS LB44. So I think that's Tito's second pole position in IRS, taking the first championship point of the day. There's the confirmation. Only a 10th, just over a 10th between the top 3. Epi a bit far back, and we're going just under a second for the rest of the field, and even further back. So a big field spread here in qualifying. We'll have to shape things up a bit differently next season, because the field spread in tier 2 is a bit ridiculous. I think it's like a tier 1 2.0 mixed with tier 2. Alright, dry race as well by the looks of it, unless some weather god says later on in the race it's going to be different. I'll be back in about 30 seconds during the formation lap. Alright, then here we go. Oh, DMS Racing and Just Piggy have been disqualified. What's happened there? So 11 drivers opting for the medium tyres. DMS Racing going soft and Kentron going hard. Oh, is that disqualification for Burb as well? Wild Jaeger, Tino. Oh my god. Come on guys, this is an absolute terrible formation lap. 7 drivers have been disqualified from the formation lap. And we have P5 currently leading the way. Oh, come on guys. You gotta have better standards than that. Just being tier 2 doesn't mean that bad. To have 7 drivers disqualified from a formation lap. No, we've got Matty P5 leading the way with 7th and 8th and 2nd and 3rd on the formation lap, and then 11th, 12th and 13th, and 4th, 5th and 6th. 6 drivers out of 13. More drivers are currently disqualified on the grid compared to the drivers lining up in 2 seconds. What's going on there? I want to see Strude's report there. I want to disqualify a few people. Oh, not disqualify, penalise, sorry. Not disqualified. As we wait for Matty, star defender, and the rest of the drivers to queue up here in Imola. Let's have a look. Who have we got? Ah, so it's even me. I can't even go on anyone at the moment. I can only go on Matty. Star defender makes it 8 drivers as he gets disqualified lining up. Hopefully it hasn't glitched now. I think it has glitched, because I haven't got a right driver. Here we go then. 4-5 lights here at Imola, round 6 tier 2. And away we go. Tino's got a decent enough start there on cold tyres. Watch out for the guys behind on the warmer tyres. Already see a lot of action. There's side-by-side action with the Alpine and Williams as we head down into turn 1. Verb, LWB just outbreaking Sick Pig there. Someone's possibly had some wing damage there, like really minor wing damage. As Sick Pig is still having a look at P2. Hasses are jumped up to 5th and 6th. Matty's lost a couple of positions there on the start as he's got star defender around the outside. With a great exit. Might have to put out this one though, unless he's brave enough. Matty pulls out instead. Oh, that's an overtaking a month contender right there from star defender. Proper overtaking a month contender there. Tino's flying away though, already draining that battery, 1.3 seconds ahead. Verb gets a much better exit out of the chicane though, pulls about 3 tenths back, just under the DRS. DMS Racing, what's happened to him? Ooh, that is IRS LB44 sending it up the inside of Outlaw, still side by side action. What a move from IRS LB44. We're seeing some very brave overtakes here on this opening lap. What's with the slipstream here? Because Outlaw has not used any battery. IRS LB44 drained his and he's still in the same distance as was. As DMS Racing makes a big mistake there, and there's Magmatic Rave coming around the outside of Aston Martin. Kentron there as well, trying to get involved. On those hard tyres though for Kentron, it's going to be a couple of laps before he starts to feel better than the cars ahead of him. Just needs to stay in DRS range. Just like LWB. It's like a kit clash. Oh, we've got Magmatic Rave. He's had a moment. He's in the wall. Gravel all over the tyres. Has he got any wing damage? No, he doesn't. But yeah, there's like a kit clash with names here. LWB 41 and LB 44. Bit similar. As Tino sets a new fastest lap. Has broke DRS. And LWB, who's under pressure from Sick Pig, coming down into turn 1. Just a bit too far back to do anything with that though. FE currently in P4. Outlaw having a battle. But we're on board with Matty, who's trying to get past the Haas of Just Picky. There's that battle, there it is. Outlaw and IRS LB44. Just dropping back in a moment. Yeah, DMS Racing on these softs ran for a very different strategy to everyone else here. These softs will die off very quickly here, as Tino has a bit of a moment now. So did Burb, so. You had a flag in the background, that is DMS Racing, who's now had a little bit of a spin. Top three have absolutely drained their battery. Epi closes up a little bit as he starts to use his a little bit more. Star Defender as well. Losing a position there to Jaeger. Just Picky having a little look as well. He's going to be too far back for a move. Star Defender picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's very early on. We've got a long way to go in this race. And track limits are a very big thing here in Imola. While Jaeger has a bit of a moment, Star's having a little look. Outlaw has managed to get past IRS LB44. They're just over 3 seconds back from this little battle here. Star Defender looking a lot more comfortable with the heavy fuel and braking, as DMS Racing has again had a bit of a moment there. Drops back to P13. I think those soft tyres are no good here in Imola, unless you've got a really short race. Sick Pig starting to put pressure on LWB, who's unable to get in the DRS of Tino, and this is about to be a 1-2, and Sick Pig's going to fly past the Williams very easily. There we go. Can Sick Pig do anything about the DRS gap to his teammate? As Star Defender makes it back past Jaeger. Oh, Outlaw's had a bit of a moment somewhere. Unless him and IRSW44 have come together, because the gap has dropped by 2 seconds in that last lap. And Outlaw's now 2.5 seconds behind IRSW44. DMS racing into the pits to get rid of those soft tyres. They're not going to be in any good condition at all. He's switching over to the hards. That car looks absolutely filthy. That's what you'd expect after 2 little incidents from TMS Racing. Hopefully he can recover his race somehow. Everyone's relaxed in now. Lap 5 on to lap 6. People starting to understand the car, the tyre wear, whether they should push or whether they should save the tyres more, as LWB's actually got back past Sick Pig and they're still going at it. LWB's off the track and here comes Epi as well, right out to the tail of him. Championship leader crashed out in the same corner in qualifying, has a moment again in the race, lap 6, now under pressure from the Red Bull. Ooh, is that Just Picky? Matty had a big lunge up the inside there. Let's get back through, not sure what's happened there. Cost himself DRS to the cars ahead now. Kentron's starting to close up to the back of Outlaw here on these hard tyres. Top 3 now very spread out. Here's Epi in the Red Bull, has a DRS from LWB. Should be an easy move again down the straight with another IRS overtake. Bit of lagging going on there. Not sure what happened there, a bit of glitching from both cars. As Epi gets the job done. While Jacob getting back past the side offender. Tino's in a different league at the moment though. Pulled 2.7 seconds on his teammate. Still draining that battery as well. Top 4, all on no IRS through most of this second sector. Side offender. Right on the back of Wild Jacob. Probably going to be another overtake here with the help of the IRS. Down the main straight. 80% ERS as well for the star defender. This is a track as well that's very good at undercuts. So if anyone's watching or listening to the stream, that's a bit of a... Oh my lord, star defender had to take 2 wheels off the track there just to overtake Jaeger. And they're still coming together a little bit. That was a very late move from Jaeger down the straight. He picks up a 3-second time penalty and has his teammate and Matty Burr right behind. Has a big moment out of that corner there. Luckily for him, the Mercedes isn't quite close enough. Kentram's got past Outlaw now. And he's pushing on. Closing up to the back of IRS LB44 on these hard tyres. Outlaw struggling for pace here, big time. As Kentram was trying to get in that 1 second gap. With IRS LB44, he nearly done it and lit up the rear tyres. Gonna give the opportunity to Outlaw to do that instead. We've got the first couple of cars into the pits, which are Sick Pig, Star Defender. Sick Pig jumping onto the medium tyres. What's Star Defender gone for? He's gone for the hards. IRS LB44 and Kentram as well into the pits. So Sick Pig rejoining in P8. IRS LB44 and Outlaw both going for the hards. We will see if Tino responds to that. And like I said, the undercut is quite big here. So he might want to respond. Or he might want to extend with this stint. Just to have better tyres for the next one. Towards the end of that one. He's into the pits. Doesn't want to lose any time to these undercuts. Sick Pig was 2.7 seconds behind Tino before the pit stops. Tino's gone onto the medium tyres. We'll keep an eye out for Sick Pig, who's coming into the penultimate corner now. Wild Jaeger into the pits as well. IRS LB44 picking up a 3-second time penalty. Like I said, Tino was 2.7 seconds ahead of Sick Pig. There he is, exiting the pits. What would a gap be? So only a lap difference, and Sick Pig has took out 7 tenths from Tino there. So technically, if you want a big difference in the undercut, you're going to need a couple of laps earlier than what Sick Pig did. Magmatic Rave into the pits as well. That will put him behind DMS Racing, who's trying to recover his race up into P12. Top two having a little battle here. When are they going to pit? Epi stays out. Are these guys going for a one stop here? If they can do 16 laps on these medium tyres, then they're going to be able to do 16 laps on the hards. Or even 14 laps on the mediums, and then do 18 laps on the hards as Just Picky dives into the pits. Eager with another 3-second time penalty. Just Pitchy, sorry. I keep forgetting that as well. It's Just Peachy. Just Peachy. Peachy. Hopefully I'm saying it right. He's going to be rejoining. Very close with Outlaw, who's under pressure from IRS 44 down into turn 1. This is going to be super close between the three of them. IRS 44 trying to go up the inside. Slight bit of contact. The corner did close up a little bit there, so bit of a racing incident. IRS 44 makes a big moment nose into the gravel. Outlaw picks up a penalty as well. So just overcooking the corners a little bit too much there. IRS 44. I think Kentron's going for a one stop here as well, you know. He's still out on track on these hards. If he can get to lap, what, 16, 17, 18 maybe? Might be alright. Well, Sick Pig and Tino are definitely going to have to box again. Epi, LWB, already extending their stint on the mediums, along with Matty as well, who's 11 seconds back in P3 at the moment, but he's under pressure from the Alpines already. Tino Tiberian onto the back of him. As you can see how much wear that Matty has on those mediums. Tino's going to be able to slide up the inside and take P3 back. Kentron losing a position to Star Defender, who's up to P6. He's broke away from the two Hasses as well, which have really fallen back in this second stint here. Just Picky being one of them. I'm not sure what happened to him actually, but he had some sort of wing damage. Outlaw down in P10. I'm having the best of races today. IRS 44 as well. Matty's into the pits. He's had enough. So what? Tino's catching very quickly to LWB and Epi. If they can get to lap 16 and still be ahead of Tino, they've got a very good chance of doing a one stop here. Penalties, Star Defender picking up a 6 second as well now. Matthew rejoins behind Just Pitchy. The field is quite spread out now, as Wild Jager has a big drift as he tries to catch up with Kentron, who's doing a super job at the moment on these hard tyres. Epi into the pits, his tyres are gone. LWB as well. 14 laps on those mediums. A very good stint from those two drivers. Let's see what they can do now on these hards. We'll rejoin behind Wild Jager. Epi actually gets that out ahead of Kentrum, which is pretty decent for him. LWB's got a bit of work to do here to get past Jaeger and Kentrum, so he's had a moment somewhere before the pit stops, which has cost him big time now. Just Pitchy and Matthew Burr, 8th and 9th. Just Pitchy running on for the gravel there. I would have been a track limit warning. So Epi's currently 17 seconds behind Tino and Sick Pig. Do you know what? I don't think that one stop's going to work. They're going to run out of tyres towards the end. I think Tino and Sick Pig will have too much pace and will come and get them. We will keep an eye out on that though. And that is the battle for the race. Victory. What's going on here? What is this? This is LWB trying to dispatch of Kentrum and Jaeger. He's picked up about 3 seconds as well there. Two Alpines out front at the moment. Would it stay that way? That's the question. As Matty tries getting past Just Pitchy, and there's been contact with both of them. Just Pitchy off the track. Rejoins behind Outlaw. It's really, this race is not going well for Just Pitchy. He's third in the championship after a couple of previous podiums in the last few races, a second and a third. And today it's just not going well for him at all, as he forgets that he's got a broken front wing and tries to take in the corner like he normally does, which was never going to work. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go into the pits, and that's going to put him plumb last in this race. 13 positions are up for points today. 13th would be 4 points, I think that is. Just Pitchy with a 3-second time penalty. I think that's going to be him retiring, possibly. Not sure. Could wait for a safety car. As Epi gets past Star Defender, LWB with a new fastest lap. 16 seconds now, Epi is behind. Took a second out the two Alpines who are on medium tyres. Just Pitchy into the pits. Just Pitchy. I keep getting it wrong, man. Just Pitchy. Just Pitchy. Not just Pitchy. And Just Pitchy has retired from the race. DMS Racing. Under pressure from Magmatic Rave. Both of these drivers have had a few little spins in this race. This is why they're down in P11 and 12. EMS Racing just defending the line from Magmatic Rave, who is on the fresher tyres and gets a much better run. So try around the outside, doesn't quite work out. Got a yellow flag from the other house there. No, we don't. That's just Pitchy's car falling out the pits onto the track. Epi hasn't pulled much time on that lap to the two Alpines. Star Defender's actually closed up to his teammate here. Right onto the back of his teammate now. They were closing up to the back of Epi. Two Williams drivers currently a point behind the Alpines. They're out in front at the moment, so this is going to dent their constructors' title bid. Star just outside that 1 second of his teammate. Applies a bit of IRS to try to close up to the back of him. Going to need to drain it here if he wants the DRS. It's not going to work out. 1.7 seconds behind there. He's on the older tyres as well. As Matty gets past Kentrum, who's still out there on track. To be fair, Kentrum's actually looking really good here. Jaeger again. Is that 9 seconds now for Jaeger? It is. And Star defended 9 seconds. Jesus. As LWB gets past Epi, gets himself back up into P3, and looks much more comfortable in these harder tyres compared to the mediums. "14 seconds to the race leader." Sick Pig's had a moment somewhere as well. He's lost out a lot of time to his teammate. Kenton's really driving good here with his McLaren, and as soon as I say that, he makes a bit of a mistake, but those tyres are definitely going to come off soon, and I think he should do it this lap. Most of LWB and Epi done the mediums for 14 laps, which is doable for Kentrum here on the one stop. Sick Pig into the pits. He was losing too much time. This could actually work out for these one stoppers here. I don't know. I'm in two minds. Earlier on, it didn't look like it was possible, but again now it looks like it's almost certainly on, as Kentrum does come into the pits. He's not too far behind Jaeger here actually. IRS 44. We'll get past Wild Jaeger here, I think. Yes, he does. Up into P8 for him. Tino, 13 seconds ahead of LWB. Tino will have to box again. I'm not sure about LWB though. Will he go for the one stop? Here's Tino into the pits. He's going to have 12 laps to absolutely send it on those hard tyres. Why did those medium tyres switch to hards when they took it off? Star Defender into the pits as well. Let's have a look at if it does that as well. It's on the hard tyres now. Let's see what tyre it switches to the mechanic when they take it off. Can't see. It was hards there. Bit of a friction. Star Defender going to rejoin behind Outlaw by the looks of it. So Tino's got 6 lap newer hards and a 13-second gap to LWB, 11-second gap to Epi. Let's see what he can do. Doesn't want to pick up a time penalty though, that's the main thing here. Burr under pressure, also going for a one stop. He should finish P5 here, Matty, unless something else dramatically happens. While Jaeger now up to 12 seconds of time penalties. Really struggling. Here comes Sick Pig though. On the two stop compared to Matty on the one stop. Tino and Sick Pig, both drivers, currently on the two stop. LWB and Epi boxed on lap 14 to get rid of the medium tyres and move on to the hards, and they are trying the one stop. Current gap 12 seconds between the race leader and Tino, and he's pushing on big time here. He's going to have the much fresher tyres, and I don't think there's going to be an answer to Epi and LWB when he gets up to them. He's trying to bring Sick Pig with him. He's 6 seconds behind. Sick Pig's got a bit more work to do than Tino here. He wants to get back onto the podium. Star Defender. Onto the back of Outlaw. He lifted off majorly early then. Tino Tabera with a really fastest lap. DMS racing into the pits. Rejoins in a very dodgy position actually. Who was that he rejoined in front of? That was Tino, I think. Yeah, it was Tino. Outlaw into the pits from P7. I think that's going to put him all the way behind Kentrum. IRS LB44 as well into the pits. His hard tyres already done. Ten laps to go here. DNS breaks him and picks up a 30-second time penalty as he chases after a magmatic rave. Epi closing up to the back of LWB here by the looks of it. Tino now 10 seconds behind. He's really got to use these tyres, Tino, and push on. Because in about 4 or 5 laps time, those tyres won't feel very good in that Alpine. Like I said, a big field spread here in Tier 2. It's a bit like real life though, isn't it? There's always a massive field spread. Driver of the day at the moment, who would I give that to? Even though we've got quite a while to go. Who would I give that to? There's a couple of contenders. Kentrum's having a very good race. Epi's having a good race as well. Tino, of course. IRS LB44's up 3 positions. There's a few contenders there. But still got 9 laps to go here. Tino catching rapidly. Has took a lot of time out of the leaders there on the lap. It's now 8 seconds. With 8 laps to go. Needs a second of the lap. Technically he's catching Epi, so he's 7 seconds. We've got a yellow flag though. Who's that? That's DMS Racing off the track. Hopefully he doesn't hold up Sick Pig, who's behind. Even though he's ghosted, does not pull out the way just to stop the dirty air affecting the car behind, which is currently P4, Sick Pig. Just under 7 seconds now. Tino Tiberian pushing on. Outlaws close up to the back of Kentrum here for 8th position. It's a much better exit, and that's a good move from Outlaw. Back up into P8. Five seconds now, the gap for Tino. As Magmatic Rave and DMS Racing really need to get out of the way of Sick Pig here. They are causing dirty air and affecting his lap times, even though they're ghosted. And you've got a blue flag, you've got to get out of the way. DMS Racing was a whole lap there ahead of Sick Pig, which is not fair Those drivers pushing on in fourth, third, second, first, wherever you are really. It's been a difficult race for some drivers today. Kentrim just losing that DRS to Outlaw now. But no way, there you go man, chill, 15 seconds. And the yellow flag for Jaeger as well, I think he's just had a bit of a moment, but Tino picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which could affect who's going to win this race. Epi being a first-time race winner last week as a reserve in the McLaren. Can he make it the second week in a row? Tino's going to have a lot of work to do here now. With this 3 seconds, he is closing still. He's on them fresher tyres. 6 laps is the difference. Sick Pig, unfortunately, not able to catch up at the moment. He's got 6 laps to go to get himself on the podium. This battling ahead, you never know. He could close up towards the end. Matthew in P5. Starting to be reeled in from star defender, only 2.6 seconds away on those fresher tyres. Matty's going to be struggling big time on those hards. Already 14 lap old. IRS LB44, as we got on board with him, picked up a 3-second time penalty. It is P10 though, which is 10 points. So still on for some decent points here. But he can just keep it going. Has got traffic behind him, which he gets out of the way. If he stays in 1 second, he can get DRS, which will help him out. He's got so much fresher tyres than the cars ahead of him as well. He didn't get DRS. Why was that? He was a second. I'm sure he was a second there. On board with DMS Racing. He's underfueled his car, hoping for a safety car. Which is not coming by the looks of it. Only got 1 more lap before a safety car comes out. We go back to the battle at the top. Epi starting to fall away from LWB. He's trying to break the 3-second gap. I'm not sure if Epi's getting dirty air from the Ferrari ahead. Oh, that's a big moment for Epi there. Luckily for him, I think Burb, LWB, had a similar moment there. Coming out of that little chicane. Epi still made some time. IRS LB44 has really got to get out of the way here. He's given DRS to Epi though, which is going to help the Red Bull close up back up to LWB. But yeah, IRS LB44 really got to get out of the way of this battle, which he does there into turn 1. And we've got a 3-way battle for the lead. With only 3 or 4 laps to go. IRS LB44 has got a first class view of that one. And he sees the 3 cars ahead of him battling for the lead. Tino looking very quick here. I'm sure Epi's going to do everything he can here to hold up Tino. He needs to, because if Tino gets past and closes up to the back of LWB, then I think it's going to be game over for Epi with these tyres. I think it's game over here anyway. Tino's a lot quicker. He's going to be able to get a much better exit here. To be fair, he actually doesn't. Had a bit of a mistake there. LWB is just saving that IRS for the straights. There goes Tino. Into P2. Does Epi have enough tyres left in that Red Bull to stick within 3 seconds of that Alpine? Will LWB help out Epi here by getting a race win? If he does, he's going to concede less points in this championship battle to Tino. To Epi, sorry, than Tino. So I think if LWB just holds up Tino here, it's going to be a bigger win for LWB. Because Tino is in that chasing pack of drivers in the driver standards on 81 points. Epi has only just come into the tier 2 and it's a long way off it, so best result scenario here for LWB is to hold up Tino and let Epi get this race win, because he's too far back. I don't think there's anything LWB can do here. Actually, I'll tell a lie, he's got a load of ERS to use here. Tino's draining his battery as well. LWB's going to be safe for this lap, I think. We're on the penultimate lap. He's going to move to the inside to defend. No, he doesn't actually. He stays exactly where he is because Tino just wasn't close enough. Bit of a moment there for LWB where he's had a few moments this race and qualifying. Tino goes onto the grass. That's going to cost him an exit. One's a bit wide as well. Epi's right there. Penultimate lap. Epi's really got to do something here. He's got to find some grip. Any bit of tyre wear left just to stick within Tino's DRS. Sick Pig 9 seconds back. He's not going to be on the podium today, unfortunately. His strategy didn't work out like his teammates. He's right onto the back of LWB, who might consider letting him through on this chicane here just to have the DRS. I don't think he's going to do that. Here comes Tino. There's the DRS button. Nothing you can do about that. Tino runs wide though. I might give it one little hope for LWB to get a good exit and absolutely drain that battery, but I don't think it's going to be enough this time round. Tino is a bit closer. Here he comes with the DRS, and the ERS gets past LWB into turn 1. Now Epi has to stick to the back of Tino here by 3 seconds. Otherwise Tino's going to win this race. We'll have a look at the penalties. There it is. Tino's pushing on. It's 1.5 seconds. We'll go to the leader. 1.7 seconds between him and Epi at the moment. 1.8 seconds. They're both all flashing red here with their fuel. Will any of them slow up towards the line? That's the question. Tino has a bit of a moment there. I think Epi's got this though. Out of the sector 2 for the final time into sector 3. Will any of these cars start to slow up due to the fuel? I don't think they will. Epi has a bit of a moment there. Tino's coming up to the penultimate corner now in P1. He's only 2 seconds ahead of Epi, his fellow finishman. Out of the final corner we come. Tino's going to win it on track, but he's going to be moved down to P2 because Epi's going to take victory in the Red Bull, in his debut for Red Bull, and his debut as a full-time driver, taking his second race win here on IRS after only last week taking his maiden win. What a race that was there between the top three. Two different strategies between three drivers, and that brought a very entertaining end to that one. Sick Pig comes home in P4. Star Defender P5. Matty will get P5 ahead of Star Defender, sorry. And then Wild Jaeger will be P7. Or will he be P7? Is Outlaw close enough? I think Outlaw might be close enough to take away P7 from Jaeger here. Yeah, P7 for Jaeger. Here comes Outlaw. Does he take it away from Jaeger? Yes, he does. And then Kenshin's going to be coming home in P9 with IRS LB44, who's already finished in P10, and Magmatic Raid and DMS Racing in P11 and P12. That is it then. That is round 6 over and done with. Epi taking the race win ahead of Tina LWB. Good result for LWB though. Does extend his championship lead over, who is it? Sick Pig? Is it Sick Pig? Yeah, it is Sick Pig. Alright, let's have a look. Driver of the day goes to Star Defender on that one. From 7th to 6th. Me personally, I think driver of the day deserves to go to the race winner, Epi. 4th on the grid. 1 stop. Held off Tino enough towards the end to give him that chance of taking victory by just under a second. I think there's a couple of other drivers there. Matty had a good result. Kentrum, another driver with a good result. Top 3 all did well. Sick Pig dropped back 1 position. But yeah, Epi, the race winner, gets my driver of the day a vote for today. Well deserved in my opinion. A pretty entertaining race considering there was only 13 drivers. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you watch it back and do what you need to do. Give it a follow. Come over to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel there as well. Get involved in the Discord if you're new. Thank you for watching. Just better known as LWB now, will be commentating Tier 1 on Tuesday. That'll be round 6 Imola as well, so come and tune in for that one. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Peace out.